In Japan, Red Bull secured the World Drivers' Championship, although under interesting circumstances. Then in Austin, they secured the World Constructors' Cup as well. This season has been absolutely phenomenal for the team. However, they faced some extremely sad news. Red Bull's co-founder, Dietrich Mateschitz, passed away at 78, so let's talk about that. Make sure you stay until the end of the video to learn all about it. First up, Mateschitz would have been very proud. When you hear the term Red Bull, you seldom think of the energy drink itself. What you think of is the absolute beast of an F1 team the company owns. Red Bull Racing has been extremely instrumental to the sport in the past couple of decades. They've won 6 drivers' championships, and it seems like their era of dominance has begun again. The team principal, Christian Horner, believes that how Max Verstappen won the United States Grand Prix was a fitting tribute to the Red Bull co-founder and owner, Dietrich Mateschitz, who passed away on qualifying day. Verstappen controlled much of the race after Carlos Sainz had retired from the race, but then a botched pit stop made it even more difficult for him. He was ahead of Ferrari when he came in for a tire change, but he left behind him because the team took too long to change his tires. Oh, and he was also behind the GOAT of motorsport, Lewis Hamilton, and thus began a thrilling battle with Leclerc. After getting past the Monegasque, the Dutchman began to chase down Hamilton. It was an amazing battle, which would have lasted longer if the W13 wasn't the disaster that it is. Despite the upgrades, the Red Bull had a massive speed advantage over the slow Silver Arrow. Verstappen then finally reclaimed P1 with 6 laps remaining and earned a 13th win for the season, which is the most anyone's ever gotten in a single year. His win also saw the team secure its first constructors title since 2013. An amazing tribute indeed. Next up, what did Christian Horner say? This has been a hugely emotional weekend. That was the best possible way we could have won that race. I think Dietrich would have been very proud of that, said Horner while talking to Sky Sports F1. He mentioned how Max had to fight back after a difficult pit stop, where there was a problem with the front wheel gun. See folks, for us, it might be 10 to 15 seconds, but for the driver, who can see the wind slip away from his hands, it feels like an eternity, and that's exactly why Max got his head down. But in the end, he did what he does best, and got Red Bull that first championship in 8 long years. When talking about Max's return to P1, Horner mentioned his hunger. The hunger that the 25-year-old has is just stunning, and it's something that we've never seen in F1 before. Take that hunger, passion, and drive, and add that to the confidence that he's been given this year and last year, and mix it all up with the fastest car on the track. You end up with a driver that's on another planet entirely. And yes, the Red Bull boss acknowledged Max was pretty upset after the pit stop. And of course he was. Don't you all remember what he said to this team? But he got his emotions in check, got his head down, paced himself, and passed the folks he needed to pass. Truly unreal. If the Red Bull co-founder was alive to see that, he would have been extremely proud of what's been achieved, and he would have been so happy to see all his life's work turn into this. Moving on, Dietrich Mateschitz tribute in full swing. Horner emphasized that this moment isn't just a great moment for the crew and the drivers, but it's a legacy for the co-founder. He stated that the team will be going large in their celebrations as they pay tribute to Mateschitz. Christian also stated that Dietrich was an incredibly private man, but he was passionate. He was passionate about life, he was passionate about sports, but more importantly about Formula One. The Austrian dreamed of having an F1 team, and guess what? He achieved that. And he achieved that with a bang. Everyone at Red Bull Racing is extremely grateful to the guy for all he did for them. And while he didn't see his team win the Constructors' Cup for the 5th time, he saw what we could call one of the best seasons for the team. And while it wasn't official, everyone knew several races ago that RBR would win both championships. It was inevitable, so we truly hope he was satisfied with all that he achieved before passing away. And it wasn't just the folks over at the team that paid tribute to the guy. Ferrari's Carlos Sainz and McLaren's Daniel Ricciardo were also present, since they were both once a part of RBR. And then, of course, we also saw some folks from AlphaTauri, Red Bull's sister team, present. Everyone set their differences aside and, well, came together to celebrate his awesome life. Rest in peace, Dietrich. You'll be missed. And thank you so very much for all you've done for the sport. Now let's talk about how the F1 world reacted to the news. news. Up next, the F1 world reacts. The news of his death wasn't easy. It was confirmed just hours before the team took part in qualifying at the United States Grand Prix. And of course, Red Bull staff gathered all around the team's hospitality room just before the qualifying began. As expected, tributes quickly began pouring from around the world of F1. Sky Sports commentator and our favorite pundit, Martin Brundle, noted it was really sad news. He called Mateschitz a wonderful man for motorsport. He also let us know some interesting facts about the guy. So apparently, he used to sell toothpaste in Asia, and from there, he created this almighty drink. Once that was done, he entered the world of motorsport. Oh, how he rose. Martin also noted that he had been unwell for some time now, but not a lot of folks knew about that since he was a very private man. He didn't like the spotlight, and he always wanted to be behind the scenes. Since entering F1 in 2005, after buying out Jaguar, Red Bull has won 6 drivers' championships. It's incredible what they've been able to achieve with his support. And Mateschitz wasn't only active in F1. In fact, Red Bull owns 5 soccer teams, 2 F1 teams, 2 rallycross racing teams, 2 MotoGP teams, 1 Moto3 team, 2 ice hockey teams, 1 sailing, 1 skateboarding, and 1 surfing team. He really took things to another level, being a pioneer investor in extreme sports. In fact, Red Bull doesn't even make the drinks itself, it outsources manufacturing. So really, it's just a marketing/sports company. What's more, even more folks come out to talk about the awesome bloke. President and CEO of Formula One, Stefano Domenicali, told everyone how sad he was about this news. He called Dietrich a hugely respected and much-loved member of the sport. He further noted that Dietrich was like family to most of the folks in F1. And not just that, but he also called him an incredible visionary entrepreneur. He elaborated Mateschitz transformed the sport and created a brand that's known all over the world. He finished his remarks by stating how much he'll miss him and how much the entire F1 community will miss him. He then sent thoughts and prayers to his family, Red Bull, and AlphaTauri. President of the motorsports governing body, Mohammed Ben Sulayem, called Dietrich a towering figure in motorsport. Let's talk about how he ignored all the haters to build his empire from scratch. We've established that Dietrich was awesome for the sport. He did so much. He achieved so much. Everyone's missing him, and everyone has nothing but good things to say about the bloke. But he didn't inherit Red Bull. He built it. Once he was done with that, he built a team. A darn good one, too. So how did that even happen? So Mateschitz was a marketing executive who often traveled to Thailand. There, he fell in love with an energy drink called Krating Daeng, which was created by Uvidya, a Thai pharmacist. Then in 1982, the two men put $500,000 of their own money to create a new entity called Red Bull GmbH, with both men owning 49% of the company. Mateschitz handled all the marketing and distribution, while Uvidya made the drinks. Then the Austrian went to a market research firm, which told him his idea would be a flop. And yep, he went ahead anyway. The company officially launched in 1987 and was positioned as an upscale beverage. The can was thinner and more expensive than Coke. Then in 1989, the company sponsored its first ever F1 driver, Gerhard Berger. And then after investing in one extreme sport after the other, he created this behemoth of a company called Red Bull. They then purchased Jaguar's F1 team in 2004, and the rest is history. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think Dietrich Mateschitz would be satisfied with all that Red Bull has achieved in the past 2 years? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.